up. I'm happy to have a conversation with you, but you cannot swear, okay?
Gotcha.
Thank you. Okay, go ahead.
So you keep calling it a tragedy, but where's Biden?
Where's Biden? Okay, so I will respond to that, as I just said. Sir, do you know how many train derailments they've been in maybe the last 22 years?
Oh, a few. Yeah.
Quite a few. Okay, can you name me how many times the president showed up to those train derailments? You can't. Okay,
Nope.
I'll assume that your silence is you don't know. Let me ask you another question. Transportation Secretary. In the last 25 years, how many times has a transportation secretary showed up to a train derailment? I'm going to assume your silence is you don't know the answer to that question either, so I'll answer it for you. Once. Once in 25 years has a transportation secretary, let alone a president, showed up to a train derailment. So would you like to ask me another question?
What's the difference between this train derailment and the other ones?
What's the difference between this train derailment and the others? Well, sir, right in front of me right now, I don't have specifics to every single train derailment that has happened in the last 25 years. I can tell you how many people died in this train derailment. I don't have the answer to that. I don't think anybody lost their life. If somebody did, you can explain that to me. But here's what I do know. In the last 25 years, one transportation secretary has showed up. So my question to you is, under the Trump administration, we had a plethora of train derailments. It does happen. Were you complaining about Trump not showing up to those and calling into radio shows? I'll assume that your silence to that is no, you haven't. So I think we should probably move on from that statement you made, and I'm happy to answer any more of your questions, sir. Go ahead. All right, sir. Thank you so much for calling in. I really appreciate that. Another MAGA. Ladies and gentlemen, another MAGA. MAGA alert, ladies and gentlemen. MAGA just called up, and MAGA just said, why hasn't Biden showed up to this Trump derailment? And then when I gave him facts, and I told him how many times has a president shown up to a train derailment, silence. I asked him how many times Secretary of Transportation has showed up to a train derailment, silence. Because he doesn't know. Because he's not educated. I actually am on this. Thank you for the call. Who do we have next? 702-221-7283 is the number to call. Why hasn't Biden showed up to this train